Then came computers, cell phones, and the internet. All of a sudden, data about how we interact with our natural and social environments were available. Unbelievably huge amounts of data, more data than social scientists had dreamed of. Computers got more and more powerful. They could search for relationships that no one would have expected, but which were extraordinarily explanatory. This was the birth of predictive analytics, also known by the terms data mining and the Orwellian big data. Look at your keyring. Are there little plastic tabs with scanner codes that give you discounts at the grocery store or drugstore as a member of their special club? Why do they give you those low prices? The answer is that they want your data. They're keeping track of your purchases because when they combine that with other information that's publicly available, things like your age, marital status, whether you own a home, they learn incredibly detailed things about you and about their clientele in general. Every major company has a department of data analytics now figuring out what your purchases mean for them and how they can use this information to get you to spend more of your money with them. And it isn't just stores. Police departments and government agencies, the phone companies and internet search engines, all are keeping tabs of you so that the data can be analyzed. Now, many of us worry about outsiders reading our email messages or listening in on phone conversations, but we're concerned about the wrong thing. The real information that lets other people know everything about us isn't in what we write or say. That only tells them about what we think we'll do. The real truth is in the so-called metadata, the when, where, and to whom. Those facts can tell what we will do, even if we don't realize it at the time, and often we don't. Most of us think that we're constantly making free choices, determining at will what we want. But the truth is that data analytics, using modern computing techniques, have shown that we are shockingly predictable. Metadata can be used for three main functions. The first is prediction. By prediction, we mean how a specific person will behave in the future. This is, to some degree, a function of personal habits that require keeping track of your specific data, but not always. Prediction is what's about to happen to an individual. The second function is diagnosis. That is, giving a description of the person's current state. Where predicting and diagnosing look at individuals, we can also come to larger scale knowledge about social groups. This is called forecasting. Now, we're used to hearing the term forecast when we think about weather. As we saw in our earlier discussion about chaotic systems, this was the first use of computers to take into account multiple factors to account for a developing system. But thanks to data analytics, we can now forecast other things as well. In many collections of data, there will be accidental relations between factors that aren't really related. And the old saying that correlation doesn't entail causation is true. There are what we call spurious correlations. Indeed, there's a wonderful website with that exact name, which shows how data analytics can be used to connect elements of the world in incredibly close statistical fashion, which don't actually have anything to do with each other. For example, according to the regression equations they use, there's a 99.5% relation between the per capita use of margarine in the United States and the rate of divorce in the state of Maine. Of course, that doesn't mean that every time you can't believe it's not butter, some poor woman in Augusta can't believe her husband sleeping with his secretary. The correlations discovered using the tools of big data aren't foolproof. The results of data analytics are certainly not fail-safe. Indeed, no one would make such a claim. But the interesting question for us in redefining reality comes from how incredibly successful they actually are.